James, Sam. Good, Sam. Can you come to the production office, please? On my way.
Welcome to the Production Office podcast. You're the first guest.
Oh, no pressure.
So say hello, Sam.
Hello, Sam.
There
No.
we go.
Hello, everyone.
So this is the first episode, so I have no idea how this is going to go.
Great. Look
Don't really
forward to it.
know what the format's going to be, but
So I'm the guinea pig, basically.
yeah, you're my
Okay.
test subject. So
Either be brilliant or it's going to be awful. So
let's
we'll
hope
see
for the
which way it
first
goes.
But yeah, the idea is that we're both on tour right now with a Korean band called The Rose. And we're in, where are we? We're in Helsinki. We're in a locker room in
In
Helsinki.
the ice hall Helsinki.
Yeah.
Which is as cold as it suggests.
Yeah. And the idea is I'm going to grab different crew members from the touring party every day, bring them into the production office, chat to them about what they do on the tour and what their job is all about. And that's about it, really. And we'll just give the listeners a little bit of an insight into the different roles that are on a tour this size. So I guess let's start with who you are and what your job is.
So my name is Sam Rogerson. I am a monitor technician in the audio department for The Rose, working for Solartech, who are a rental company based in the UK.
Yeah, shout out Solartech.
Shout out to Solartech. Thank you for employing.
Sponsors of this podcast by supplying these two lovely SM7s for us to use. Yeah, so let's go through what your role is all about. So you're not like a part of our core crew.
I'm from a supplier, technically.
Yeah.
So
you come as part of the hire of the PA and all the audio gear that we have.
correct. So I'm one of three technicians in the audio team that have come from Solartech, and our job basically is to deploy the rented equipment every day, make sure it works, set it up in the time frame, make sure it works for the show, support your staff that are hired by The Rose, and then obviously at the end of the night we tear it down and we put it back on the trucks and
Do it
rinse and
again.
repeat.
Yeah. Cool.
In
So
a nutshell.
let's start then. Let's just use today as an example. Let's start with you wake up this morning. What do you do from then?
So what I do, I get into the venue. I normally have a little quick scout around just to get my bearings, because you might not. Sometimes it's your first time in a particular venue. Thankfully, it's my second or third time here in the ice hall, so I kind of knew what to expect. Once Chris, who is our PA, he's our system engineer, so he designs the PA, works out what we're going to bring in for that day, what size of PA we're going to hang in the room.
Yeah.
So my job then is to unload the truck, and I make sure that all of our equipment ends up in the right place in the venue, because obviously in some of these arenas,
It's too
there's
big.
lots of like nooks and crannies, stuff can end up very far away. So yeah, I make sure that everything ends up in the right spot so that we're efficient and fast.
Not looking for that one box.
No, exactly.
Somewhere, yeah.
You know, you can waste half an hour just trying to find something. So yeah, I distribute that. And then once that's done, my main job is I run a lot of the infrastructure. So the boring stuff, basically. So the two guys, Chris and Morgan, shout out to them. They hang the PA. I run in like the main power feed. I run the cables to front of house, the multi-core. And basically after that, I pre-build all of my monitor world, so that when the PA is hung into the roof, it's ready to roll in, and it should be quick and easy. So yeah, and that kind of takes around a couple of hours of work.
Yeah. So what time do you normally get in the morning?
I normally get in
8?
just after 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, and we're normally tipping the trucks at about 7:30.
Okay.
Maybe
So
sometimes 8:15 if we're keen.
we've got the PA up by like what?
The PA probably goes up in about a couple of hours, really, from
By
rolling off
11.
the truck.
Definitely up by
sometimes
11. You're
11,
in place.
10:30. It's normally up in the area. We call it at trim, which is when it's hanging in its position for the show. And at that point, my day gets really busy because touring, I always think it's like an onion. So PA is like the first layer for audio.
Yeah.
I'm monitors and stage. So as the PA goes up, I set up all of monitor world. I check all the wireless, make sure that works. I hook up all of the monitor equipment, make sure everything powers on properly. And then basically, patch the stage, run out all the cabling.
So most of the monitor world is all like pre-cabled, right?
Yeah, so
So it's all racked up. And
I try and, when we're like in the warehouse before a tour, we try and like prep the equipment so that it's super fast and minimal connections, so it's more reliable, basically. So I spend a lot of time like talking to the engineers, like the roads engineers, and a lot of time with the warehouse staff, making sure that when it hits the road, it's a slick.
Yeah.
It's,
it makes your day easier by plugging in 4 cables rather than 47 cables.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's all about, speed in and out, but just reliability for me.
Yeah.
If something cannot be on a multi-pin, not to get too technical, but if something cannot be on a cable and can be internal into a rack, I'd always go for that option.
Yeah, definitely.
So
then you run out all the cabling on stage as well?
I do,
so all the sat boxes, all the
sat boxes, all the
XLR
power for the bands, all the XLRs.
A lot of channels.
Yeah. I mean, this show is 64 channels in total. So it's a full stage rack. Any more than that, we'd be into another hiring. More stuff, yeah.
So. We need less stuff.
I'll leave that in your hands.
Yeah. So that takes us up to what? Then you're up and running. You check through all the gear, make sure
check through all the gear. I spend a lot of time looking at the RF, the wireless on the gig, because obviously cables are cables, and they tend to be pretty reliable. But I spend a lot of time making sure that the wireless is good, because it can be an ever-changing thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes, in the morning, things can be nice and clean and clear, and then midway through the day, a TV channel suddenly fires up.
And then you just
TV station, and then so you can't rest on your laurels with that. So I spend a lot of time checking that, making sure that everything, the coverage is good, so that if the band, walk off to a far corner of the stage, we don't end up with a drop out. And I monitor it through the show a lot as well. So it's a big part of my job.
And then are you part of the line check, or is that just...
No, I'm part of the line check.
Yeah.
On this, I actually have to hit a few drums.
Oh, wow.
Which is...
drum tech, are we?
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I actually get to hit the drums, which is it's quite cool.
Nice.
There's Flo does backline on this, and when he's busy off restringing guitars,
you just jump up there and make sure they're working.
So that's a cool part of the day.
So that takes us to what? Lunchtime?
Yeah, we normally have the whole thing ready just before lunch.
Yeah.
And then line check after lunch.
Yeah.
Make sure everything works.
And then once everything's working, band come on stage, sound check at
3-ish.
At 3 o'clock.
So it's normally a bit of a nice middle bit in the day where we can
go get some actual food and
get food,
rest.
Fix anything that's broken, that kind of thing. A little bit of maintenance, TLC.
Yeah.
Lucas coffee station gets some usage at that point as well.
Fair. I guess it is useful for that.
The heater gets some use as well. We're actually touring a heater on this in a flight case for Monitor World.
No,
which is a first for me. Today, though, it has been really useful.
Yeah, I did stand in front of it today.
The ice wall, it came into its own.
I'll let him off today. Today only, one day. He can have the heater.
And I think the rest of the crew are enjoying it as well, because they're just flocking to it, Monitor World is very popular on this.
Yeah. But that takes us up to where we are now. So I just called you to the office straight after sound check. Band have just come off stage, and what do you reckon you're going to be doing from now until end of the night? Let's go through that. Well,
it's a good bit of downtime. I normally catch up on some emails, a bit of life admin. I still kind of, I'll fix anything that's broken. I like to, at this point, to just prepare for the loadout as well. So I try and make sure that things are in the proper place, that I'm not, things aren't just scattered everywhere.
Yeah.
I try and tidy up, just to be more efficient later on. There's nothing worse than sort of being we're done. And then top of the loadout, you can't find anything. Things are lost. And then...
If you know all the cases for that finger over there, those cases there. Yeah.
And you're just being prepared and ready. But at this point, what's really nice on this tour is... normally we have 2 or 3 support bands on many tours. So at this point, this is like support band time. And often, I always try and help out, even if it's not our gear for the support band. I'll always try and be as helpful as possible, because it makes everyone's day easier.
Yeah.
But B, you never know. There's many times when the support act is your next employer. Or the next client that you're on tour with.
Yeah, they might see you helping them, and then next tour they do.
Happens a lot, yeah.
You want some?
This happened fairly recently, actually. Support band on a tour, and they used Solar Tech, and I ended up working for them.
Nice.
Through Solar Tech. And
who was that?
That was Sleep Token.
Oh, okay.
So they were
small band.
But they were the support band for a couple of tours with another tour that we did, and then they became the main client. So
fair.
If you'd been unhelpful, then
Yeah, they wouldn't have wanted you.
They'd be like, we don't want him.
Yeah. But they were probably like, yeah, he's great. We'll have him.
So it's all one big team, isn't it, really? The whole hierarchy thing is...
Yeah. No, a tour is a tour. It's just everyone together.
Yeah. And you never know, like, sometimes you need help from the support bands. Like,
oh, yeah.
If they've got something spare that you desperately need, if you've been not very nice
many times before,
they might be more willing to help you out if you're helpful back. So
definitely. But yeah, there's no support bands on this, so you just get a bit of time to
we just enjoy the downtime, really, which is a good blessing. Obviously, you can't just... You've always got to have on a show day, because the reason we're here is for the show. So you always got to have your head in the game and keep an eye on things, make sure the day is going in the right direction.
Yes,
so
please.
A lot of that is, it's no good being in the bus for hours and then finding out you've got a big problem just before the show that you could have fixed earlier. So
true.
Yeah, I just try and be vigilant.
And then get some dinner just before doors open, I guess.
Dinner, yeah. So I normally have dinner around 6 o'clock. I try and keep it a bit later for... If you eat too early, you just get hungry.
Yeah, true.
Mid-show. You can't really eat during the show. So, no, I try and push it a little bit later. And
then, what about showtime? What do you do during the show?
A lot of my time during the show is mainly scanning the stage. I stand at Monitor World, just stage left. So as you look at the stage, I'm on the right-hand side. And I watch the stage a lot to make sure that, a mic stand hasn't flopped down.
Yeah.
I also keep an eye on the RF. So I've got 2 screens in Monitor World that are just looking at RF, basically.
Yeah, so you can see any dropouts or low batteries or anything like that.
Exactly. So we actually had one, the other night where for one of the Q&A section before the show, a battery went in and it flashed up straight away. It had an error, basically.
Right.
We've got lithium-ion batteries for all the wireless. Not to get too technical, but we've got, they're not just AA's, they're a proper rechargeable lithium-ion batteries. But occasionally, they can have errors and not hold their charge. And the fresh one that we put in had an error. So it came up straight away on the screen, error, low battery, and we were able to swap it out. So it pays a lot to have it all networked and
be able to see
monitoring it.
It's an overview.
So and then basically just ready to fix any problems. So sometimes, the band might need something on stage that, if one of the other techs is busy, I'll run on and fix something.
Yeah.
It's basically just about
being there just in case.
Exactly. Sometimes the monitor engineer, Luca, might need something, or go and check that mic position, and I'll run on and quickly just make sure that something hasn't flopped down, or a cable hasn't got knocked out, or could be anything really.
Yeah, true. Someone could have tripped over a cable walking on stage.
I know.
Pulled it out a little bit.
Exactly. Sometimes beers get thrown and stuff gets a bit wet. Yeah. I mean, on certain gigs. This one's not so bad for that.
There's no beer thrown on this gig.
Thankfully. Not on the equipment.
What do you listen to during the show? Are you in the same mix?
A tech mix.
So you're on the same mix that I listen to?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a dedicated tech mix for the listeners that are basically, it's got all of the talkback microphones. And I spend a lot of the time listening to the talks, making sure that, everything's going well. It's got a general band mix so we can hear if there's a problem, if something starts to buzz, or
you've got click track
cues.
That's a lovely noise in the background there. You probably can't hear it on the microphones, but sounds like someone's just doing a shop outside with a big trolley.
Big weight. But I listen to that, and it's quite good because it's the same mix every day. You can hear pretty quickly.
Yeah, if something's wrong.
So, and that's basically what I'm there to fix for the audio side. So it's really handy for me. I can hear whether a mic position's moved before
they even notice.
The monitor engineers notice, because the tech mix sounds different all of a sudden. So it's really useful.
And then, cool, I guess, end of the show. Pack down loadout.
It's time for loadout, yeah. And obviously get it out as quickly, but as, safely as you can.
Yeah. What's the order of the trucks? Because we've got 4 trucks on this.
So I have to pack 2 trucks on this. Wow. So once I've done all of the stage and monitor world, the front of house engineer, Joel, packs away his stuff and sort of gets it roughly towards the truck dock. And then I basically pack all of the control stuff. So I normally do monitor world first, stacked in a particular order, and then I do front of house in a particular order. And I try and keep the same pack normally every night. This tour, it's varied a little bit because of the merch. The merch pack changes, so I have to kind of adapt a little bit.
Work around that.
which keeps me my head in the game.
So what's in the merch truck? The control stuff?
All the control stuff's in the merch
So the
truck,
consoles, the RF racks.
RF racks, sack boxes, mic stands, funhouse outboard racks.
Yeah. The heaters.
The heaters are in there. Yeah, they're in there. The coffee stations in there as well. At both ends.
Yeah.
We've got tea in Monitor World and coffee at front of house. It's, yeah. And all the plants as well. They're in there. Rugs, stools. We've actually got quite a lot going on. That's non-technical at both ends. But it keeps a homely vibe. Maybe you can put a little picture in there on the video.
Yeah, I'll go take a picture of that and just put it in.
Our lounges.
Yeah.
They were on about buying a sofa originally.
They're not having a sofa. I'm not authorizing that.
We were like, God, think of the truck space. They were like, yeah, we could chuck a sofa in. We're like, oh.
No.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. So yeah, and then once the control truck's done, I quickly move on to the PA truck. So obviously the two guys, Chris and Morgan, are dropping the PA. So to make sure that we don't just end up with a huge pile of stuff like in one place, getting in everyone's way, I sort of pack it as it rolls out. So the order is mainly dictated by the order of things come out so that we're not having stuff lying around.
Usually kind of in a similar order, but it might change a little bit each day.
A little bit. I mean, I try and do it so that stuff that's we've left on the truck gets packed first so that you're not having to tip a truck to then keep the same order, if that makes sense. So sometimes we don't use all of the PA. So what I'll do is I'll change the order that day so that I'm not having to drag all the unused PA off the truck.
Yeah, to then put it back on again 10 minutes later.
Just to keep the same, I'll just move the walls around. So same pack, just different order basically. And pack that. And then once we've done that, we normally have it out in about an hour to an hour and a half on average, depending on like how long the push is or you know, how much we put in that day, how good the crew are. But yeah, about an hour.
Cool.
So pretty quick.
And then truck door shuts.
Truck door shuts. And then we check where we've got everything first.
Yeah. Idiot check the venue.
Idiot check the venue, which is really important.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
if you leave something.
You leave something behind, you could be miles and miles. Like, for example, our next show is 24-hour drive away in Poland.
Yeah.
So it'd be awful if we left something here.
Especially something big that you can't just ship.
No, exactly.
Like you've got to drive it.
Or something you can't get locally.
Yeah.
You know, it could be a real nightmare. So yeah, we do a really good idiot check, make sure we've not left anything in some random nook and cranny. And then after that, once we're happy, we have a shower, and I don't drink beer, but I might have a glass of wine or might just go straight to bed if I'm feeling boring.
I tired you off in the day.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a massive drinker anyway. So yeah, I just have a shower, wind down for a bit, because normally your adrenaline's quite, loadouts are quite busy and
you can't go to sleep straight away because you've been really busy. You've like you and like 12 local crew have been like packing a truck quickly. Yeah. It's hard to then just jump straight into bed. You have to like calm down. So I normally take 20 minutes on the bus just to like wind down. Yeah, to relax. Make sure you've all set.
Exactly.
Bedtime.
And then off to bed.
Wake up to the next show.
Drive to the next show. Wake up somewhere else.
Yeah.
And that's basically hit repeat and away we go.
Thing every day. Well, not every day. Every other day. This tour is pretty relaxed schedule wise. It's show day off basically for the entire month.
So sometimes show 2 days off.
Yeah,
you know,
so
which was what we've just done. Which
we only had one where it was 2 shows in a row, which was quite fun. But
it felt like normality a little bit because it's quite rare to have like so many days off. But not that I'm complaining.
Oh yeah,
this is the dream.
Yeah, nice and easy. No support. Oh. We're all here ready to go at 7 a.m. Straight in the venue.
Done by lunchtime.
Easy.
Cool. It's brilliant.
Well, thank you for explaining your job.
No, thank you.
Sure. If anyone's got any questions, leave it down below if you watch on YouTube.
Or like, comment, subscribe. Is that the thing?
Like, comment, subscribe.
Something will appear here.
Yeah. Or just message on Instagram if you've got any questions for Sam, and I'll pass them along. And you can answer them.
Oh,
you're not free now. You're now locked into this forever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Someone might message in like 10 years' time. You're like, Sam, what RF were you using?
Years ago? What did you use? And I'll be like, I can't remember.
I'm like ringing you up like, Sam. But yeah, no, thank you for that. First episode done.
There we are.
Very good success.
Hopefully it's a good one.
Yeah. And I'll see you in catering.
See you in catering. Copies on me.